very large fan by my bed. He
Who is he?
a lot.
Who is he, Sherry? Who is he? Who is the large fan by your bed? Who is he?
He just claps all the time that I do anything, so, you know.
You see?
Wow.
Hey!
Morning!
How are you?
Morning. Oh, well, given the fact the last couple of days it's been like sleeping under the devil's bottom, I would say that, yes, they're all right. It's been a little bit hot, a little bit moist here in N1.
That is hot.
Yes, it has been a little bit. So, lots of tossing and turning and spraying of lavender and keeping bed sheets in the freezer. Who does that? Whenever they offer that up as a daytime telly, keep your sheets in a freezer. Seriously?
Ooh. No, seriously? Don't be silly.
Wet. No, but you know what I do to Beanie, my chihuahua, because she gets hot in the nights and she starts panting. So I get an old pillowcase and I just put loads and loads of cold water on it and then squeeze it out and she lies on it.
Good tip.
You can get some nice dog cooling pads now that just naturally cool. They're really good.
I know, but we bought one of those, but I think unless you start that caper when they're puppies, I don't think they actually take to them now. So we rolled it on the floor and it's just unsightly. Although, so I could use it as a crash mat, frankly, at the moment.
There you go.
I have a very large fan by my bed. He claps a lot.
Who is he, Sherry? Who is he? Who is the large fan by your bed? Who is he?
He just claps all the time that I do anything, so, you know.
You see? Wow. Please, can we do our stories?
Stories. What are we talking about this week? Wonderbirds?
Dating. Dates. First date.
First or any old date that you've had, Richard.
the dates that we can speak of within the realms of decency and the law.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
As I've mentioned on here before, I grew up in Scotland from about the age of 11. So when I was in the full thrust of and perils of pubescence, I was in rural Aberdeenshire going to an awful lot of young farmers' discos wearing a staid grey trouser.
Dear God.
And saying, I'm never ever going to drink. I'm never going to drink. And of course after the first cider and baby sham, there she was drinking, and she's never looked back. So I do remember I was always sat on the corner of the dance floor, and I remember listening to Phyllis Nelson, Move Closer. So that's got to be about 1984. And of course, it was always that point in the evening when, you know, the slow dances were happening, and you know I was a bit blousy there, a little bit doughy, so not exactly the first port of call. And I think it's probably fair to say that I was the only one in the village, so there weren't exactly rich pickings up in rural Aberdeenshire, but I did love going out of a Saturday night. We'd always go in these 7-seater taxis, and that would be the beginning of the courtship. There were 2 taxi firms in Inverurie where I was brought up, June's and Kenny's, and you either went in June's 7-seater taxi or you went in Kenny's 7-seater taxi. And of course, who you went in that taxi with, you can imagine when you're a teen. You know,
what story!
That said everything. Yeah, that said everything. So you had to pick the right tribe to go out with on a Saturday night. But I do remember, I say, the perils of pubescence fondly. But I was never picked for that last dance. That time came a lot later in life, when I was a lot longer in tune. I was terrible at dating in the 20s. Absolutely terrible. I think my first kiss was with a lovely lady called Leslie, and I remember she had a mouthful of square crisps at the time.
What possessed you to kiss somebody eating crisps?
Because carbs, Harriet, carbs. I know.
Of course. He was hungry with me.
Yeah, I was hungry. It's you know, when you look back, I mean, we've talked about this as well before, in the sense that it's so nice to have ripened into this stage of our life, and when you look back, it's lovely to be able to look back and let yourself off the hook for certain things that happened, you know, and realize it's all part of, all part of the rich tapestry. And I think you always must stay in touch with that side of yourself, rather than pulling the ladder up and forgetting about it, actually, because it's sobering if nothing else. But you know, if you look back and laugh, then it's something. But I do remember my first date with the current Mr. Arnold. And went out for dinner at a restaurant, and we were just sort of chatting, and this hen party was in. And this hen party descended on the table going, "Oh, Rich, my mum loves you. My mum loves you. Can I have a picture?" We did all of that. And I sort of sat there and there was just silence for a moment. And he said, "What is it you do again?"
Perfect. Perfect.
You don't open up with borderline national treasure on a first date because you don't want to pat it apart too much. You've got to have a degree of humility. That's another thing we glanced across last time. We glanced. You remember last time, ladies, we were glancing across the whole concept about sort of first dates and I remember saying to you, I just feel like whenever I went on a date, because I was so bad at it, I felt like I was auditioning all the time. So I'd fill the dead air constantly because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I also didn't think that I had a say in it. I thought, I have to pitch and I should be very grateful if they accepted. It was all of that. I mean, when I think about it now, I'm like, oh, Rich. But
goodness me,
you can't rush these things. And you can't rush these sort of arcs. You've got to go through them. And I believe every man and every woman, of course, has their time and has their moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you about my first blind date?
Yes, go on.
I was 16. I was living in LA, and some friends of my parents said to me, "Oh, I know this great guy. You'll love him, and we'll set up a blind date." And I was like, "Okay." Anyway, the date was arranged, and I was standing by the window waiting, and a car pulled up, and it went beep beep. So I went and got towards the car. I got in the car. He hadn't got out of the car, which I thought was strange. Anyway, you remember those old cars which had one long seat across the front?
Yeah.
Not two separate seats, one long seat.
Proper drive-in cars, yeah.
And clearly, he was a little bit shorter than me. The seat was so far forward, my knees were up against my chin. And anyway, we set off for dinner. And I spent the entire time, we were queuing outside to go into a restaurant, and I spent the entire time trying to get on the lower step so he would be taller than me. So I had neck ache by the end of the evening, just trying to keep small because he was petite. And then he took me, he said, "Why don't we go to my brother's?" And I was like, "Okay." And his brother was an artist and so handsome and so gorgeous, you can't imagine. And then they all started smoking pot, and I thought, I'm never going to get home alive. And then he got me back in the car with my knees under my chin again, because it was so far forward. And I went home, never again.
Oh, that's very sad.
Very sad.
What a sad story.
Oh my goodness.
It was hysterical, but it was funny, that thing of thinking, I'm, trying to be lovely and trying not to be stand up. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Neck ache. I go away with neck ache.
A slight bit of news, which this is very relevant. It's
brace.
Tonight, I have my date with the matchmaking guy.
Oh. What does he do? How old is he?
I can't tell you. It's not fair. But tonight is the first date that Lisa has got me with this guy. So I'll keep you informed and I'll let you know.
Are you going to dinner? Drinks?
Dinner.
We should all be sitting on another table to make sure you're okay. Why have you not told us? We should all be on another table.
But I might take you with me. I might Zoom. I could actually Zoom everybody tonight.
Yes. You can see him, so we can protect you and make sure it's okay.
I'll keep you in my pocket. Richard, will you come?
I'm feeling rather sorry for the chap already. I am the most mothered man on earth. Being an only child, and I'm surrounded by the most incredible women. So I always feel very, very much mothered. And like I always say with you girls, swept away in the tide of estrogen. The very thought of having you all on a date with me would be enough to make me wither.
Nightmare. Can you imagine?
I must
me going, what's his bank balance like, Debbie?
You should have an earpiece. You should have a secret earpiece, and we can be sitting there.
I'm going to go with a secret. I'm going to go, literally, I'm going to be bugged. So
How
you girls will know it.
I'm not entirely sure that that's legal.
Isn't it? I know. You can get one of those cams from the cars. Those. Yeah. And just put it like an earring or something, so we can see all the time.
Oh,
dash cam.
Oh, that's amazing.
Dash cam on your tits.
I'll just tell you about a little story of mine. One of my first little boyfriends, a boyfriend, and we were very young. He was, I think he was about, I don't know, say 10, and I was 9 or something. And his mother decided to take us for a tea, so that we'd be, chaperoned. So we go for tea in this tea shop, and we had a lovely tea with cakes, sandwiches, but there were egg sandwiches. And so we ate the sandwiches, and that was it. And his mother went, "Now I'll leave you both to walk home. So he held my hand. And when we got to the door, he went in for a kiss, but he stank of eggs like an old fart. And I went, oh, that's disgusting. And I've never kissed anybody since. It was just...
That's hysterical.
Oh,
God. And then when I did Coronation Street and I married Fred Elliott, he got, when we got married, he did the same thing and had an egg sandwich, and I had to kiss him, and that smell came back. This old farting people. Oh, it was awful. Anyway, so that was my
emotional recall.
what about you, Dee? What story have you got?
As you were saying about tonight, I must tell you a Christopher Biggins story about a friend of mine who went on a blind date before the internet many moons ago, and went to Joe Allen's and was sitting there with her blind date, and Christopher Biggins was sitting at the bar with a big newspaper with a hole cut in it, looking through
Good old Biggins.
the newspaper.
The best.
And she said she saw him and ran. She got up and ran out.
Oh, that's
Never to be
brilliant.
seen again.
That's what we
That
can do
is so
tonight.
fabulous.
That's what you can do tonight, girls. Go to the pub,
Yes.
get a newspaper,
Yeah.
cut a hole out,
Yeah.
see.
Okay, she's dropped a hint there, girls. Do you hear? She said
We'll
the
do
pub.
it.
She
It's
knows.
in
She
a
said
pub.
the pub. So
We
we
will
now
definitely
go to
do
the
that.
pub.
No problem.
What's his name, Debbie? What's his name?
Can't tell you anything.
Bank balance,
Can't tell you
nothing.
anything. Oh, but
Nothing.
this is a whole new level of terror. It's bad enough with track and trace at the moment, necessarily. Without us keeping a logbook of your dating, Dev.
Oh my God,
I
I
just
can't
had
wait.
it's my first date for about 20 years.
Aren't you terrified? I'd be terrified.
I'm not terrified. He's only a human. I hope.
You hope.
You don't know.
He might not even be of this earth. You know, it's brutal out there. You never know what you're going to end up with.
No, you don't.
It's a minefield at the moment, girls. A minefield.
Well,
It
exactly.
really is.
Here I am, a mother, a grandmother, and I'm going on a date.
Fabulous.
God.
I love that.
Fabulous, and so you should. It's
Gives
bloody
us all
brilliant.
hope.
We should all be going on dates.
We
Oh,
should.
Just
oh
you know.
no, how awful. Oh.
Only me with Richard. Me with Richard. Only.
I'm still available for comment for you, Mystic D.
Thank you,
I'm
darling.
loving
Thank
the
you.
turban this morning, by the way,
Oh,
darling.
thank you, darling. Yes.
Yeah.
I just made this out of another cushion cover, darling.
It's literally, every time I wonder what Dee is going to come at every week when we do this. What does she come at?
So
this
do
week?
we
Apparently it's
wonder
a-
about her.
I know, Madame Arcati. It's a touch of blithe spirit today. albeit-
Yes,
It is,
isn't
darling.
it?
It is. Absolutely.
Very funny. Oh
So,
my God,
Ricardo,
Debbie.
you are going to not be with us for the next 3 weeks, is that right?
That's right. I'm going to take a little bit of downtime, spend some time with the other half. Of course, we've not done that nearly enough in the recent. Quality time is exactly what we need. In fact, after 3 weeks, I shall probably be coming back here after all these years, single as well, and I will be requiring you to come out on a date with me, ladies.
Yes.
But
you.
Love
just,
that.
just taking some time out. Mum's well looked after. The pooch is well looked
Yeah.
after.
Good.
So yeah, all good.
Well, we'll let you know
Fabulous.
whatever
Miss
happened to
you.
Debbie on that night.
yeah.
What
we'll
happened
message.
to Debbie Arnold?
Ooh.
I know. So for me, this feels like an end of season cliffhanger because we're sending Debbie off for a date, and I won't find out for another few
Well,
weeks.
perhaps,
how it
Richard, I won't
unravels.
tell them until you come back.
No, you have to. I can't wait.
I know
that
you
long.
have to.
Well,
No,
I want
we
them
have to
at
kill
this-
you.
Yeah.
No.
As soon as you're on your
Have
way
to tell
home, or
us.
when you've arrived home, if you're on your own, then a call, please,
Yeah, you
so that
have
we
to
know
tell
you're
us.
okay.
What do you think I am?
Yes.
exactly.
Sensible.
Yeah.
No, and you know, first night, it's only a kiss, if that.
If
Can't
that.
do anything else.
If that.
Yes, absolutely.
Through a mask.
Yes.
With a mask.
Definitely.
Yeah, with a mask, through a mask.
Oh, yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Oh my
he has his
God.
own teeth.
Well, hopefully.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Well,
How old is he, did you say?
Nothing. No, I can't even think about it. Stop it. Stop it. You're making me get
She's
down.
mortified. She's
Does he like
mortified.
dogs?
Well, Debbie, you'll
Does
have a
he like
lovely
dogs?
time, darling. Hair up
Thank
or
you,
down? My
darling.
final question. Hair up or
yes. Up.
Up.
Yes, up, maybe.
Maybe?
Gorgeous.
Yes, it's a bit
Yeah.
kind of more powerful up, I think.
Yeah.
You could
It
frighten
is.
them with up hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have just brought my outfit down as well, and so I could have.
Yes.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
could have been dressing me for the date.
Yes.
True.
What are you wearing?
Your outfit.
Yes.
I love this fact that it's all about me now. I just love it.
Oh my God.
All about you, darling.
Yeah, and good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with that with this lot. I love
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
I'll
Love
see
you,
you soon.
darling.
Bon voyage, darling.
Bon
Love you.
voyage.
Bye, darling. Enjoy.
Have a lovely,
See you when
have
you
a
get
lovely
back.
time.
Bye.
Good to see you, darling.
Bye.